friends, welcome back. The sunrise this morning looked so cool, so I wanted to get that for you, but unfortunately you have to see it through my dirty kitchen window because it is freezing out there now. The temperatures the past month have started creeping down below freezing, so we've been spending a lot more of our days inside. Lincoln got up and he was driving his remote control car around the living room. The boys often spend their mornings doing this. They've got a lot of new stuff for Christmas, but I think these remote control monster cars are some of their favorite toys they got. And I know once the weather starts heating up again, they'll be outside with these things the entire day. We have a couple of winter storm systems that are supposed to be rolling through our area this week. So I'm quickly just throwing some chili in the crock pot for dinner tonight, and then I'm going to spend the day kind of working on some things around the house. I'm wanting to get it tidy for the most part, and then there is a little project that I'm wanting to work on that I'll show you later in the video. But I'm wanting to get the house kind of in order, just get it kind of tidied up. We've done a big tidy after Christmas and after, our family and everyone left after the holidays, but I just kind of needs like an everyday type of tidy, some vacuuming, some just odds and ends need done around the house. And then that way I can spend the rest of the week actually prepping for a larger storm system that's supposed to be at the end of this week. We are located in the Ozark Mountain region, so it is very hilly in our area. The roads are uphill, winding, they are steep. It's not easy to drive on, and then when you add in rain or freezing rain or snow, it gets pretty scary, and we actually cannot even get out of our driveway when it snows or ices at all. We also have a possibility of losing power because of the ice or the snow that will build up on trees or on the power lines, and then it brings them down. So when we know that there's a system coming in, we spend a lot of time the days before preparing for it to make sure that we have food that we can reach for in a situation if we have no electricity or anything like that. So stuff that we can heat up on our fire or on our grill outside, just easy stuff we try to prep ahead for, and then also heating as well. I will have another video out before the system hits us this week. So more of us prepping for that in a way. But right now I'm just focused on getting odds and ends tied up around the house. That way I can put more of my focus on later this week when we have a much larger system coming through. Right now we're actually going through the first one, and it's pretty minor. It's a lot of just rain. It is very cold. So it is freezing and it is causing some hazardous road conditions. But in terms of shutting down the whole town and everybody kind of being cooped up for days, it's not anything right now. However, later this week, we are expected to get a significant storm. So the possibility of being cooped up and not being able to leave our house and possibly not having heat or electricity is a likely situation come the end of this week. So I'm trying to just do my best to prepare for that, and that will mostly be in the next video. Today I'm just kind of wanting to tie up ends and get a little project that I've been wanting to work on for a while done, so I am excited that that will finally be done. I've made chili a handful of times on my channel, so I'm not going to go into great detail, but this is just a really simple one. I didn't even have like a chili packet like I usually do. I just did like chili powder, onion powder, maybe some garlic. Super, super easy, and my family devoured it. We didn't even have leftovers.
Yeah, put your hand under it. Oh no, you don't hit it.
That's how you control it.
Oh!
I thought when it goes on the ground, it turns off. Okay.
That's another one of their gifts that they got. Huge hit. I don't even know what it's called, but it's like a hovering ball. And they thought that like you're supposed to like hit it almost like a dodgeball or a normal ball, but you actually can just put your hand underneath it or to the side of it, and it kind of takes that as like you're throwing it or something. I don't know. It's super, super cool. They got a hovering ball like that, and then they also had a hovering soccer ball. That one they haven't used as much just because I think they're so busy with their other toys. But if you're looking for gift ideas, that is an awesome idea. Even for older kids, my daughter had one of those hovering balls when she was not too much younger. She's 13 now, and I want to say it was like 3 years ago. Um, she had one, and her, my husband, me, like we would all sit there and play with it. So it's a huge hit for a lot of different ages. And my younger boys, they're 7 and 5, and they absolutely love it. So definitely a great gift idea. And I am starting with my room. It's just an easy place to start. It usually doesn't need a ton of stuff. I got a ton of lotion and makeup and all kinds of really great, fun, like self-care goodies for Christmas. So I also got this basket and thought it would make just a good place on my vanity here to hold all the lotions and all the new stuff that I got for Christmas. If you remember a couple videos back, me talking about the plant that's like in the corner of my room, it's a snake plant. Basically, such an easy plant to take care of. And I was talking a couple videos back about how I felt like it smelled, and I couldn't really, it was a faint smell and I couldn't really put my finger on it, but I felt like it was that plant. And I'm like, what am I doing? Because all I'm doing is just dumping my husband's extra water bottles in it. But I didn't feel like it was a lot of water. I didn't think that I was over watering it. The soil always seemed dry, and then the water bottles that I was dumping in was kind of sporadically, maybe once or twice a week, and it was only a little bit of water. Okay, so I got to the bottom of it. It is that plant. It is root rotten. I don't know how you say it, but it definitely is, because over the last few days, I noticed that they're like the stalks of the plant are starting to fall over, and you pull it out and it just comes right out, and the roots are kind of like mushy and they smell. So I'm like, what is, I guess you really have to ignore snake plants, which they say, it's very easy to take care of. You basically just ignore it to take care of it. Well, they're not lying. I am proof that I was barely watering this thing, and now it is dying because I just gave it way too much attention. So I don't know if there's any saving to it. I'm going to go through it today and kind of see. But if you followed my whole plant thing, my whole plant story, that is the conclusion of it, basically. So tell me I'm not alone. It seems like every time the holidays, like I get through the holidays and you just eat, so much crap. There's cookies, there's hors d'oeuvres. I mean, it's never ending. The holidays, from Thanksgiving to New Year's, it's just constant eating, and it's never good for you. And so as soon as Christmas is over, all I want is vegetables. And my husband's the exact same way. Even Theo, my 5-year-old, who really does not do vegetables, he's the only one of my kids that is really, he's not picky, but he is like the chicken nugget kid. If you know, you know. He is not great with vegetables, but like if he wants to, do me a salad or something, he'll eat a vegetable. Even he is sitting here eating radishes and cucumbers and carrots and just nonstop, and choosing that over chips and salsa. It's a miracle. It's never happened before, but I swear, after all that junk during the holidays, my body just craves vegetables. So, which is a great thing because I need to get back on track. I said that, 2025, I'm not so much the whole new year, new me person. I really never ever do that. But after the last 2 years have just been terrible, dealing with everything. I'm not going to get into it, but if you've been on my channel, you understand. After having just a crappy 2 years, I am so ready for 2025 to be like a year of healing. I need self-care. I need vegetables. I need to be a healthier person all around, physically, mentally, and it just feels so good to be working on that. And so I'm actually pretty proud of myself because we have had we started getting veggie trays, and then when they were gone, then we would just get the vegetables, and that's what I'm doing here. I am cutting up all the vegetables that we want for our veggie trays, and we've been putting that out every single day. We have, my husband and I, we will actually eat those instead of lunch a lot of the times. So just a big helping of vegetables. We have gone through so many vegetables since Christmas, and it feels great. So I am pretty proud that we have continued to do that. And like I said, instead of putting out like chips and salsa, which we did a lot of times for like when my husband would get home from work, usually while I was cooking dinner, he'd be really hungry. So I would put out, chips and salsa or some type of dip or, various things. And then the kids would snack on it too before dinner. And we have just been putting out these veggie trays, and they are going like crazy. We've bought a couple. I made this one, and then I think I have made 2 other, like chopped them up and everything. We've had to buy them a couple more times. So it just feels so, so good after having all that junk for the holidays to finally be eating so much more vegetables. I talked in my last video about my hormonal problems and how since I had my youngest son, since I was pregnant with him, I've had really bad hormonal problems and being very sick from that. And also, I have physical symptoms every single month that knock me off my feet quite often. It makes me very, very ill. But not only that, I also have a lot of problems losing weight. It is something that I have struggled with. I lost weight and then I gained it. Like I said, we went through some major things the last 2 years, and self-care was not one of those things on my list. But now that, I'm actually taking the time, I've noticed that my hormonal problems are playing a huge part in me actually not being able to lose weight. So I am trying a bunch of things, bunch of different diets, trying to figure it out. And I'm hoping that this year I can start to heal, start to manage that. Like I said, I have never been a new year, new me person, but I feel like 2025 just hit me. I feel like it needs to be a year of change. I need it for my sanity. So I am so excited. I have stayed on track with certain things. I have set a huge goal list that I want to work towards, not necessarily achieve in this year because I I'm reaching for the stars. My goals are huge, but just to work towards those things is so exciting to me, and I cannot wait to see what 2025 has in store for me. One of my really big goals for this year is to work on my YouTube, and I really hope that it grows and does really well this year. I am still very new, but I have really enjoyed being on YouTube. It's been really therapeutic in a way. So I am so grateful to have actually started. I mean, it was such a long process. I think my husband and my 13-year-old daughter for the longest time tried to talk me into doing a YouTube. They're like, you do basically everything that these guys do. You might as well go on and do it for yourself. So I am glad that I finally took that jump, because I'm saying it was like a couple years that they were talking to me about doing it. So I just hope that I can actually do good and work on it and actually have like a really good YouTube first year, basically. And with that, if you have not subscribed, I would love for you to like this video and to subscribe to this channel and join this growing community. It means so much to me. Another big goal that I think I'm most excited about this is we have been looking for the longest time for land in our area. I'm wanting quite a bit of land and to put not a big house. I don't really want to like move and do a big, huge thing. I'm wanting some animals and a place for my kids to just run around. We're not on a huge portion of land right now. We are on about an acre and a half, I think it is, and we're on a golf course, so it can be kind of busy, but we have enough to where, you know, the kids can go out in the yard and play and do things. We also are near several big lakes and rivers. It's a really a great area, but I am wanting to start making that move to having kind of a homestead, a small house that we can build and put on a lot of land. I am just so looking forward to that. And that is something that me and my husband, we actually went out the other day and saw a couple different areas that we have had our eye on. So it's very exciting that things are, like I said, they're huge goals. And we want to make sure that we are making the right decision. So it is something that we'll work towards. It's not something that, I mean, if it falls in our lap in 2025, that will be an amazing blessing. But just to work towards that is all I'm wanting to do. And I'm so excited about it. We had several deliveries of flowers on December 17th, which was my son's first heavenly birthday. And this is one of the arrangements that was sent. It's beautiful. It smells like Christmas. It has all the Christmassy things in it. However, so I was taking out the pieces that were dead, but there was still quite a bit that was, you know, alive and beautiful and still smelled beautiful and looked beautiful. So I was keeping it, and I was just going through all the arrangements and taking out the stuff that was dead and getting rid of it. But and I thought I was going to have to cut out a lot of this because I did get really emotional. And I mean, they're just flower arrangements, but it is hard. And I ended up keeping some to dry to put in, you know, we have like vases that I keep some of his dried arrangements in. And then I just went ahead and I put it over in the corner with his pictures and some candles. But yeah, I got so emotional and I was afraid that I was actually going to have to cut out a lot of that clip. So I have talked a ton of times about how my house is, it's not like too old. I think it was built in 1987. It's just very quirky. The previous owners, they did a lot of different like upgrades, different things. And it just, some areas are kind of weird. But this is an area that I have struggled with since we have moved in. I have several of those areas, but this one, I never know how to decorate. The window is kind of like a bay window. It goes out, but there's nothing underneath, and the ledge for the window is not big. You can't really put anything on it, and it has like a lip on it. So you really can't put anything on it. I never know what to put in front of it. And my husband, every time I talk to him about it, he loves like adding more seating. And so we had that chair from our previous house and I have nowhere else for it. So I always just put it in front of the window. One issue with that is that window overlooks our front yard, our driveway, and Ted, if he's inside, he will run and jump on that chair and like bark and, you know, look out the front window like dogs do. But like the table next to it, sometimes he'll tip it over. So I have to, you know, kind of be cautious about what I put on that table, make sure it's not breakable or like a plant or anything. But anyway, yeah, I keep going back and forth with this area. I've had benches there with various things. I feel like I can't put anything there and it look right. It's just kind of a weird spot. It's right there by the front door. So, and then it also is right by our living room seating area. So I can't really put like too much there so it doesn't block off like the flow of traffic. But I don't know. So I was moving stuff around to see if I would like it. And then I kind of stepped back and just looked. I also had to vacuum under the chairs. I hadn't done that since we had a ton of guests here. So I wanted to do that. And I took the time while I was vacuuming to also just kind of stand back and look at it to see what I want to do there. We are planning on replacing these chairs. They're older and we're probably going to replace them. And I don't know, we go back and forth about different furniture, like a couch and stuff. We had this couch for a really long time, and but I don't think I want to replace it until our kids are older and until Ted stops jumping on the couch and with his white fur. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to do here. I'm at a loss for what to do in the window. I don't want to, like, it looks too empty to just leave alone, and it kind of drives me crazy when there's nothing there, but I don't know what to put there other than a chair. So I will be moving the chairs back and kind of explaining stuff in a minute, but yeah, that's what I was doing there. think I'm going to see if my husband can extend the ledge of this because we have that lip there, so you can't really put anything on it. And so I'll extend it all the way out just a little bit to kind of create like a shelf. And then I'm thinking of taking these plants because they do really, really well in front of these like windows and doors. So I think I'm going to take those then and put them over here on the shelf and then remove this cart. I never know what to do with this area or this area. I change it multiple times a year because nothing ever works. So, and then I think I'll probably move the cage and all that kind of stuff and then move this out, probably back outside by the pool where it was last year. And then I have like a lemon tree and a couple bigger plants upstairs, and I'm thinking I'll just take one of the larger plants and put it there in front of the window. Don't mind my cushion. Every time it rains, they're supposed to be waterproof, but that one fills up. The other one doesn't, and it gets so heavy, like 20 pounds at least of water in it, so we have to like dry it out. But anyway, so that's why that's there. It was drying out. I think we're going to probably this spring, I haven't exactly chosen the right ones that I'm wanting, but I think we're going to replace these two chairs. That's kind of why I was seeing how they looked over there, but we have a larger like oversized chair that I was thinking of putting like right here after I moved these out, but I did not like how these looked over there, and I thought it would look too crowded. So, sorry, my boys are fighting if you hear them in the background, but we're going to replace these two chairs with larger ones. We've had these since we've moved in, and they're just starting to show like wear and tear. So also, we used to have these like big oversized leather, well, they were faux leather, but they had like arms on them and stuff. I think we're going to go back to those and we have two, so put one on each where these are basically. But I think they're a little larger than these, and like I said, they have arms and they're slightly a different color, but they're still like, the faux leather. So I think we're gonna swap those out at some point. Like I said, I'm not 100% sure which ones I want, but I know that these are kind of at their life for here with kids and pets, and they've been through it through the years. So we're gonna swap them out. I might just move them to my room. If not, I might move them to Jackson, my oldest son's room. So we'll kind of see. I probably won't end up getting rid of them because I really like them, but I know that I'm kind of just over them being here. So I ended up sending a video to a couple different friends and telling them about my issue with the window and the furniture situation, just everything, trying to figure out. By the way, okay, there I am. I'm like, I thought my screen was frozen, but I don't know, whatever. I don't know where I was watering the plant, I guess, for a really long time. But anyway, so I ended up sending my situation, just what I was thinking, and kind of trying to bounce off ideas with a couple different friends. And we ended up coming up with a solution that I like, and it's, I mentioned it in the video, adding a bigger ledge, almost like a shelf, to that windowsill to expand the windowsill, and that way I can kind of put stuff on it and it not seem like such a dead area. So that was something that I talked to a couple of my friends about, and they were like, yeah, I think that will look really nice. And then I brought it up to my husband, and he was like, yeah, let's do that. And it was such a little task that we were able to get it done really quickly. And that is actually, you'll see that in this video. He goes through and puts it together, and it worked out perfectly. He even mentioned building a bookshelf underneath it. So it is supported underneath, and it looks great. But he actually talked about maybe adding underneath a bookshelf to where I can put all my books. I like to read and I have a lot of books. So I love that idea. We did not do that in this video, but it's definitely something to think about. I really like the idea of that. This was just later in the evening. We had a fire going and I was putting the chili in bowls. We were getting ready to eat dinner. I think I just served it with some homemade bread and butter. I like to serve it also with like a salad. Chili is super good on top of a salad. If you had Wendy's chili salad back in the day, you totally know where I'm getting that from. It is so, so good. But this is the next day. We went and we were picking out just one singular piece of wood to add on to the windowsill. And then you'll see my husband it was such an easy job. It was so quick. It was super, super quick. And I don't know why I never really, you know what? I have thought of this before because I wanted to do this in my kitchen. And now I'm kind of at the point where I can't really do it in my kitchen because we have that island that we put in. But it will just take too much room. People like to walk around our island next to the window. And I always wanted to put like a bigger windowsill in there though, because a lot of people try to sit on our small windowsill in there. And so I thought, well, maybe if we put like a larger one with like stuff on it, people wouldn't do that. I always get nervous that it's going to break or someone's going to fall or whatever. But now that we have the island, we can't really do that because it will take away like the flow of traffic basically. But we did it here and it was super easy. Lincoln, my 7-year-old, he was helping. He was helping hold up the wood so my husband could screw it in on that side, and then he kind of switched. But my boys, they love helping. They're really, really good helpers. So we always appreciate when they offer a helping hand. I'll leave you with some of the footage of them finishing up and then also of it finished. I think it turned out great. I'm so excited. It was exactly how I envisioned it, and I just moved the chair back in front of it, but that might change in the future. We'll kind of see. I like to do projects and then kind of sit on them for a little bit to see how I like it or how I can adjust it, anything like that. I don't want to make big decisions all at once. But thank you so much for hanging out with me today and chit-chatting while I got my house put back together and gotten ready for this storm that's coming. The next one is going to be pretty big, and I'm afraid we're going to be locked in our house for quite a while. So the next video you will see will be us preparing for that big storm. But I hope you have a great rest of your day. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.